What is up, seekers? Time for another daily conscious thought. And this one today actually spawned from a conversation I was having with my sister over the phone about patience and allowing our spouses to polarize through their spiritual journey at their own pace and not place any undue expectations on them, because that, truthfully doesn't help anybody. And I know for myself over the years, that is something that has been really difficult. With my lovely wife, I had some high expectations, but I don't feel like I was too hard on them. I could be wrong, though. And that caused a lot of strife between us, because I would end up putting up a wall when those thoughts, ideas, and expectations, wherever, weren't met. And it's super not cool. So my sister and I were talking about it. She's recently on a spiritual discovery, journey, like most of us are. And is in this pickle where her spouse is receiving some messaging and is actually becoming somewhat frustrated with the messaging that's being received, even though the confidence that it's from a positive source is very high. And same with me, truthfully. And I think one of the things to consider in these situations is, the train just derailed. Think about yourself when you're beginning this journey. Sure, there's most likely some excitement. There's going to be, high energies and high vibes because things are changing, things are happening, life is great. Or it could be a huge wave of holy shits and what the fucks, because you're having this just nonstop berating, not really berating, but like a barrage of, realizations of where you could do better. And for some people, it's like, okay, yeah, all right, I see that, I should do that. And, others, it's whatever. And then there's the ones where it's like brutally difficult to have some truth kind of slammed in their faces of like, wow, I was doing that, or I wasn't doing this, or I was allowing certain things to happen. I'm not in control of my life. I'm not taking advantage of the catalyst that's being provided, or there's a lot of things that can just be blown in your face, and everybody's going to have a different reaction to it, and everyone's going to process it differently and go through it differently and at different pace than you or I, or just yourself. So it's really looking within yourself and realizing that if you're having issues with somebody else, well, it's your issue, it's not theirs. So that's not something to be held against the other person. It's actually a growing and healing opportunity for yourself. It's showing some sort of distortion within you that's something that needs to be worked on. Especially going through it myself, it's this huge realization of I really need to be patient. And I sit there and tell myself, well, you've been patient for years. You're always the one waiting. You're always the one standing by the sidelines while the other is catching up or coming along or making the decision. That's not always good either. There comes a point where a decision needs to be made along multiple paths, and you can't just sit and be patient the whole time and wait for someone else to do something. But in terms of this, if there's confidence in the relationship or partnership or marriage or whatever you're in, and you're really just going on a journey together, kind of individually but together, it's always better to have that partner with you who's going along a similar path to guide each other when certain struggles come up. Like we were talking about the other day with Mac and I, we're on a similar journey, but at a different time, a different area. So if there's some roadblocks or stumbling blocks over the way, like we can help each other over them. And that's a big thing in a partnership like that. You're going along your own journey, but you know that you'll always have someone there with you, which isn't necessary. It's just a nice to have. And that person that's with you is going to pull out and bring up everything. Not really everything, but a lot of the things that you need to work with. You need to work on. A lot of things you need to heal and catalyze. And that's an amazing thing because it's just simple day-to-day stuff. Like we were just talking today with my sister about the whole, like, you're being told that doing something would benefit you. And you're being frustrated because it requires you to, for example, wake up a little earlier and do something. It could be something as simple as a 5-minute meditation, or run up and down the stairs a couple times, do a couple sit-ups, drink a couple glasses of water in the morning first thing. Simple things. And all of those together will benefit everybody, truthfully. If you wake up and have water, start with water, go into a meditation session for 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, it's really not that much time. And then get some physical activity going, get that blood pumping, get your energies up. It's an amazing thing. I've done it a few days, just as a little test run for myself to see how it goes. And I've noticed differences. I have more energy through the day. I have less pain through the day. When you wake up and prepare yourself for the day, the rest of your day is going to be great. That's also a mindset thing too. We can talk about that later. Here's really the big thing. When you're in a relationship and you intend on it being a long-lasting relationship, well, one, if you're in a relationship, you should intend on that anyways. If you don't feel that way, then just like yesterday's, you might feel unsafe. You might have to get out. Then go along your path. Do the best you can to be the best you can. And don't hold your progression against your partner. Set an example. And if they're having some issues in certain areas that you've been through, offer assistance. Offer your input. And offer yourself as a way to help. But don't expect them to do exactly what you're suggesting, or don't expect them to go about the exact same steps that you took. Don't expect them to even listen to you. Just offer it in love and let them do what they want to do with it. There's a lot of things in this world that would be a lot better if people would just let other people live their lives. So don't have high expectations. You can keep high expectations for yourself. But if you have high expectations for others, you'll be let down and you're just dragging yourself down with it. Wish for the best, hope for the best. Meditate for higher vibrations, higher energies. Live in higher vibrations. Be the best you that you can be. At all times. As much as you can. Because it's difficult. And we all know it's difficult. But the more you tell yourself it's difficult, you can't do this, can't do that, it's not worth it, what am I doing? Then you're not going to have the mindset to progress through it. Understand that there will be difficulties, but affirm yourself that you will overcome them. And you will. Anyway, Seekers, that's a conscious thought to consider today. We'll see you tomorrow.